For over 60 years, the Space and Missile Systems Center, SMC, has been known worldwide as the industry leader in space acquisition excellence. SMC delivers resilient, affordable, and timely space capabilities for the nation.
Our space capability is a critical part of our national security posture. So our objective here at SMC is to continue to deliver that space capability that's so vitally important to our nation, but at the same time strive to make our space systems more affordable.
Since its earliest days, the center, once known as the Western Development Division, has found innovative ways of fielding critical systems for national security space. The SMC mission began in 1954 in a converted schoolhouse in Inglewood, California, with a priority call to create the nation's first operational ICBM, the Atlas Intercontinental Ballistic Missile.
The Atlas, now called Weapon System 107A, was given the highest program priority in the Air Force.
SMC went on to tackle complicated military satellite programs and the design and launch of numerous small, medium, and large launch vehicles. Ever since those first successful military launches of the 1950s, SMC demonstrated a key role contributing to America's technological advantage, an advantage achieved through the broad utilization of space across a wide array of mission-critical areas. From the beginning stages of a burgeoning global positioning system, now a must-have capability for the world, with nearly 40 years on orbit.
And we have liftoff of the United
SMC is currently pushing forward the most advanced GPS system to date, the GPS-2F block of satellites, which will sustain the Navstar constellation well into the next decade. We continue evolving our military communication and weather satellites, such as DMSP, which recently celebrated over 50 years on orbit. SMC was there and will continue to be there when our nation calls. The people of SMC manage space systems, cradle to grave, across the entire life cycle, from initial system concept and technology development to sustaining on-orbit and ground capabilities. These systems provide force enhancement, space superiority, and critical space support, allowing our forces to fight and win in times of military conflict and keep the peace when order is restored. SMC continues to evolve and improve in its efforts to deliver space capability to the warfighter. We recently signed a cooperative research and development agreement with Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, SpaceX, as part of the company's efforts to certify its Falcon 9 launch vehicle for national security space missions. The Air Force anticipates entering into similar certification agreements with other commercial space providers as well, such as Orbital Sciences Corporation and their Antares rocket. SMC has recently enjoyed great success across many key program areas, such as AEHF, SBIRS-GEO, RAIDRS, and the AFSCN Guam Remote Block Change Upgrade. We launched over 50 EELV, Evolved Expendable Launch Vehicles, as well as several small launch vehicles, such as the inaugural liftoff of the Minotaur 5, which launched the NASA Lunar Atmosphere and Dust Environment Explorer, or LADEE space vehicle, to the moon. SMC was also recently awarded international partner buy-in on the newest WGS wideband global SATCOM satellites.
And liftoff.
And awarded the production contract for the 5th and 6th Advanced Extremely High Frequency, or AEHF satellites, and saved close to $1 billion in cost.
We're already having success. We're already seeing significant savings across our programs.
In recent years, SMC has sought new ways of improving and executing programs within ever-shrinking budgets.
Well, I think SMC has turned the corner when it comes to space systems acquisition because we've built upon the lessons we learned over the last 10 years. So we're able to reduce the number of meetings that we have, we're able to reduce the number of reports that we require. We've put together a program operations plan that allows us to be consistent across our programs in how we interact with the contractor. This is enabling us to drive out inefficiencies, and all these inefficiencies cost money.
So we're going after every aspect of the cost parameters, and then working with industry, if we can find those savings, then we're able to ensure that they still are getting a return on their investment, but overall the government is still saving money.
In recent years, SMC was given responsibility for managing the JSPOC, Joint Space Operations Center mission system.
Launch indications out of sight Delta.
This three-phase modernization plan is expected to be completed by 2016 and promises to revolutionize space situational awareness for U.S. forces. The JSPOC, located at Vandenberg Air Force Base, will enjoy an improved view of ever-increasing congested space and increased ability to leverage data merged from various sensors and enhanced by the contribution of multiple vendors. The JMS is key for the United States to integrate space power into global military operations. SMC is dedicated to making space systems more affordable and to develop and evolve resilient architectures. The center is currently moving forward in several key areas: cost savings, hosted payloads, and disaggregated architecture.
Disaggregation is much more than the latest buzzword. It's a way of thinking.
When we talk about disaggregation, what we're talking about is looking towards separating the missions that our satellites now perform.
Disaggregated architecture is a separation, and I think that's very important. It's the old adage of not putting all your eggs in one basket, and so if you can separate the difficult systems engineering that sometimes goes along with putting those types of systems together.
By debundling these missions, we reduce the complexity and the size and weight of the spacecraft, which in turn reduces the systems engineering and integration costs, as well as the costs of launch. Also, by diversifying our capability across numerous different platforms, we complicate an adversary's targeting calculus, especially if we have these platforms hosted on international or commercial partners.
Hosted payloads is another approach SMC is using to get communications capability in orbit without having to pay the tremendous cost of building and launching an entire satellite.
Hosted payloads provides the national security space community an opportunity to get to space more often and at less cost.
What that's going to require us to do, though, is to match the cadence of the commercial sector if we really want to take advantage of that.
SMC will continue to leverage opportunities such as partnering with the international community as well as civilian space companies.
So by partnering and opening up our contracting opportunities to that wider audience, we're able to leverage that commercial market, both driving down our costs and improving in our mission assurance due to the larger quantities and reproducibility that we get from engaging with the commercial community. So both of those are opportunities for us to be able to continue to provide affordable and resilient space systems for our national security.
Space is an expensive business, but in these critical times of budget constraints, SMC is finding new ways of cutting costs.
Vehicles now supersonic.
Without sacrificing quality.
We're in a new financial environment right now, and I really believe that over the last decade, we've concentrated on first-of-a-kind or one-of-a-kind type of systems. And now today, Team SMC is really looking at production mindset.
The initiatives that General Polakowski has taken here at SMC to scrutinize costs will pay off, and we're starting to see that.
We have returned about $1 billion to the Air Force budget in the last year due to the savings that we've implemented.
That is the best return for the warfighter and the taxpayer.
And with a production mindset comes stability. So stability in requirements and stability in production, I think, is absolutely paramount.
SMC makes significant economic and social contributions to the local and veteran communities, and has been an integral part of the South Bay in Southern California for over 60 years. It's the people, the men and women, military, civilian, and contractor, Team SMC, who get the job done.
Well, the most important part of our mission accomplishment are the men and women of the Space and Missile Systems Center.
We have the military, the civilian, the contractors that are all part of this team, an industry that brings unique capabilities that no other country in the world has.
Each component of that team brings its own strengths, which provides these capabilities that are absolutely vital to the national security.
Space acquisition is a hard business, and it requires exceptional diligence on mission assurance and doing things right, because we don't have the opportunity to pull it back and try again.